Hello all of you. Here we begin with the revision video for service costing. Earlier it was called as operating costing, right? Okay. Do watch this video 2-3 times so that you write all the booster notes. And when you start preparing for this chapter, if you watch this gist revision, you will come into the grip of the concept. We will cover up in this the concept of service costing, any theory questions if they are asked, and pitfalls which you have to be very careful. Service costing is a chapter where exactly same question comes. Otherwise, kahan se pucha kya pucha pata nahi hai. But service costing, this is the cost sheet you are making for person who is not selling any product. So there is no stock of raw material or work in progress and finished goods. But this the gist is the service costing is make the cost sheet for those who are providing service. Like if I discuss the secret, I'm going to make service costing. I'm into teaching, right? My fixed cost is rent of the room for my face-to-face classes, Zoom, what per month I'm paying for my online classes, and depreciation of the cameras, the touchscreen laptop, the lights, the ACs, and all the amenities. These are my fixed costs. My variable cost is material, what I print per student, and so on. And I add my profit and I charge fees from the students. Right? So, service costing generally in exam is asked for transport service, but in that transport of passenger is different, transport of goods, where you do ton kilometers. Passengers is different, then school transport, buses. So when I'm teaching this chapter, that excitement you can see is because itne patterned problems hai. Since years I'm teaching costing and students have got exemption 80 to 88 for sure. I'm not saying anything wrong sitting here, but wo kyun aate hai? Because ye to ek chapter hai where whatever problem they have done in the class, it comes in the exam. And now in the new syllabus, they have added the toll service and many other services. Still, it is very easy. And theory questions are also asked from this chapter. In the last question number 6, 4 into 4, those theory questions are there, what you have to answer. So let us begin revising this chapter. Particulars, working note, amount. This is how you have to make operating cost sheet. It's the cost sheet of service provider. If you can, then divide the cost it into variable cost and fixed cost. And sometimes semi-variable overhead also they give in the service costing. Like up to the limit, whether you go or not, your say petrol, diesel and all is variable. Fixed cost is fixed. Of repairing and all, up to a limit, whether you drive or not, routine repairing is there. But if you drive the vehicle too much, more ups and downs if it is doing, then the repairing cost will be very high. So there's a glimpse of variable cost, fixed cost and semi-variable cost. Now, very important thing is, as you prepare cost sheet in the exam, there are some expenses which are given annual. There are some expenses which are given monthly. How do you make the operating cost sheet? Will you make it annual or will you make it monthly will depend on the denominator. This is the cost of the operating of my one bus per month divided by number of passenger kilometers. So if your denominator is ton kilometer, passenger kilometers, number of students who are going to and fro in school bus, number of hotel rooms, if you are doing it for library, number of library. So if your denominator they have given for 1 month, then numerator you make it for 1 month, annual expense up divide by 12. Are you all getting? If they give the denominator annual, the numerator you make annual, and whatever is given monthly, usko multiply by 12. So simple. If this is a routine class, then service costing, the first class goes in studying what is absolute ton kilometers and commercial ton. But here we have to take the gist, so I am doing this exam oriented revision. Is it clear what I'm talking until now? Are you getting? And And many times in exam, they tell you clearly, preparing operating cost sheet for August month, prepare operating cost sheet for 2021. They have to make it yearly and so on. Now, let us do it very smartly. How to calculate denominator. और ये चैप्टर जितना इजी है ना उतनी गलती होती है. See, in account, students generally don't do mistakes in amalgamation and internal, but something very easy, single entry array, we know. It's like एक debit या एक credit, इतना भागते हैं ना तो गलती होती है. So in operating costing, you have to be very, very careful. Second. Let us revise from your material first. Yeah, look at this. Service costing is applicable for transport, canteens, hospitals, theaters who are giving service, right? Okay. Now, this is asked as theory question. That whatever services is the nature, what will be their cost unit? You know what is cost unit? Unit of measure. If you are making oil, it's in liters. If you are making jewelry, it is into pieces. How many pieces of necklace and so on. So what is your unit of measure? Are you all getting? If you are selling fabric, it is in meters. Once you dye the fabric, you are selling it in meters. So if you are involved in services of hospital, your cost will be calculated per patient per day. That too, it depends on general ward, single room, double room. Yes or no? Hotels, number of guests and number of days. Here also, single room, double room, and so on. In case of passenger transport, it is passenger kilometers. How many passengers are traveling in this bus and how many kilometers? If it is cargo, it is ton kilometers. I want to give this example of cargo. Have you ever booked a courier service? Yeah? कभी हम कुरियर से भिजाते हैं ना कुछ पिकल गिफ्ट ये वो तो खाने की बात होती है हमेशा नहीं कुछ और गिफ्ट भी भिजवा सकते हैं. तो if you say, in fact we can talk about trains also. Are trains also giving services? I want to travel from Hyderabad to Nagpur. How many kilometers? 530 per kilometer. This is the rate of railway. Okay, you want to go in 2-tier AC, 1300. 3-tier AC, 750. Sleeper class, 450. Because the amenities are different. So, per passenger, per kilometer is fixed. Same way when you book, why did I give courier? Because it's very simple. Okay, how much you want to send? 1 kg mangoes. फिर खाने की बात. Jokes apart, 1 kg mango I want to send from here to Raipur. So here to Raipur is 700 kilometers. So now we know ki 1 kilometer, 1 kg, what is the rate? Are you getting? So if I want to send say 5 kg, so per kilometer, per kg का rate अगर fixed है, तो okay 200 kilometers जाना है और 10 kilo है, so according to that they will quote you the rate. So they see people around us have not studied costing, but costing is literally going around us. A small Xerox wala knows what is his costing. You go to courier wala and say, अरे भैया 1 किलो का आप इतना ले रहे हैं और 10 किलो का आप इतना, तो सेम ही लो ना, यहाँ से रायपुर का डिस्टेंस तो सेम है, ऐसे नहीं सर नहीं परवड़ता. Because 1 kg will need different space, 10 kg will need. So these are some basic logics which work in service costing. So for passenger transport, what is your denominator? Passenger kilometer. For cargo transport, what it is? Ton kilometer. For canteen, number of meals. For electricity, kilowatt hours. Boiler houses, how much quantity of steam is produced and all. Cinema halls, how do they charge? Number of ticket and number of shows. In Hyderabad, it's not there, but if you go to metros and all, do you know the show rates are very low in the weekdays and they are high on Sundays. In Sundays also, morning show it is 150 rupees, afternoon 250, evening 350. Why like that? Because that is the way they decide their cost. number of shows and number of, okay, this screen has less number of the people. According to that, big screen they are charging more. And have you seen we have to pay extra for 2D 4D movies for specs, because those specs they are getting damaged and also they charge more, right? Banks, how do they charge? Per RTGS they charge, yes or no? Every quarterly from your account amount is deducted SMS charges. Per customer they charge SMS charges, per service, per transaction, per project, that depends. You make locker you open, depending on the size of the locker, they will charge how much deposit and all you have to pay. Education institute, per course, per student, per subject, per student, the fees is 5,000. But if you enroll for 4 subjects, instead of 20,000, you are getting in 18. Because there is some common cost which is working for all and they can reduce that cost. Whether you join for 1 subject or whether you join for 4 subjects, their rent and all is fixed, no? Only thing is if you join for 4 subjects, they have to issue you separate material and separate lecturers and separate AC and all, electricity bill badega. Lekin rent to same hi hai na? You got it or not? That's why this educational institute and all, they charge per course, per student, per batch and so on. IT industries cost per project. And IT people, they see how many hours of work is there and how many people will be needed. We need to work for 100 hours and we need 4 people, 400 hours. They are going to work on this project. और per hour हम 20 rupees से कम तो काम करते ही नहीं है, because we are all qualified. So according to that, they'll charge 80,000, like that they fix up the rates. Insurance companies, how do they charge? Per policy, per claim, and so on. So will you be able to answer this kind of question in exam if they give you the service and this? Now, to determine the denominator, especially for kilometers, you can take up absolute kilometers or commercial ton kilometer. Now, what is absolute ton kilometers? By multiplying various distances. You are going from A to B, B to C, and again C to A. So 10 kilometers, 8 kgs, 11 kilometers, 9 kg. Every ton and kilometer is multiplied. That is absolute ton kilometers. Commercial ton kilometers is total distance, 8 plus 11 plus 9. Do the total of the kilometers and multiply it with average load. Okay, I'll show you how to work out this. Average load is all the 3 kgs divided by 3. Okay, so nothing given in the exam. Ma'am, shall we take commercial kilometers or absolute kilometers? Absolute kilometers. Ton kilometer, ton kilometer, ton kilometer को multiply करो, add करो. Those who have taken the cake coaching, don't leave these problems. These are like basic problems. How to work out passenger kilometer. How many buses are there? 6 buses. How many days they are operating? 25 days in a month. Each bus makes 8 trips per day. So 25 into 8. Itne trips only. Distance covered is 20 kilometers one side. So multiply by 2. Ye students bhul jate hain. Written you get passenger or not, but kilometers, petrol to lagega na. 20 kilometers going one way, 20 coming back. While coming, whether you get passengers or not, but kilometers to lagega. And there are 6 buses. Every bus has 40 passengers and average 80% occupied. So 40 into 80 is 32 passengers. If you multiply, you will get passenger kilometers. Are you getting? Ton kilometers also I'll show. This is also a very nice problem. Once you calculate the total cost, then divide it to get the per kilometer cost, and then like Delhi to Chandigarh, it is 150 kilometers. So per kilometer, if you get the cost, add the profit and all, you can complete the problems in UP. Yeah, the school problem is also nice. First you pick up seniors and drop then juniors, and the school works only for 10 months, but salary and all are paid for drivers, cleaners, all for 12 months. But petrol expense you take it for 10 months, kilometers you take it for 10 months, because 2 months the school bus is parked in school and it's summer vacation. Got it? I'm just making you aware how differently they can ask you questions. See, now this is semi-variable overhead asked in transport problem. Total distance traveled, this much kilometers, maintenance cost. This much kilometers, maintenance. Now this cost is not fixed. Ma'am, कैसे पता चला आपको it is semi-variable? This is taught to you in the very first basic chapter. If you want, I would revise it for you. See, please don't expect me. आप जो लिख रहे हैं ना, जो लोग लाइव अटेंड कर रहे हैं कि मैम एक या दो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करो, फिर तो वो रूटीन क्लास हो जाएगा या क्रैश कोर्स हो जाएगा. I promised I'll give you the gist videos. Enjoy this knowledge. Pause the video जहाँ आपको लग रहा है कि मैम जो पॉइंट बोल रहे हैं इसको लिखने जैसा है बूस्टर्स में, लिख लो, and then start with your practice. You will be able to solve each and every problem of service costing for sure. Those who have done the coaching, तो absolutely, because you have this material. तभी मैंने बताया था कि ये problem important है, ये पूछते हैं and all. And theory questions are separate. PDF is uploaded for costing and all theory questions, and that is uploaded in concept classes app. Below this video link is there. Download concept classes app, and there in the free content, costing, FM, tax amendment, all are there. You can take and open the PDF, and directly you can print it if you wish and keep the copy with you. If you have any queries, you can join our Telegram and WhatsApp group. For that also link is given. Okay. Now, how do I decide, dear students, that this maintenance cost, ये जो है ना maintenance cost, ये fixed तो नहीं है, because 460, 451 is not fixed. Next, it is not variable also. Variable कैसे पता चलेगा? Pick up your calculators. या पिक अप योर कैलकुलेटर्स. अभी पता चल जाएगा कि ये वेरिएबल है क्या. हाउ विल यू कम टू नो इफ इट इज वेरिएबल और नॉट? 460, 500 is the maintenance cost divided by 160, 200 kilometers. So it is 2.87 per kilometer. 451, 750 divide by 156, 700, it is 2.882 kilometers. So this is not same per unit. Variable cost is constant per unit. Fixed cost is constant total. But can I now calculate change in cost divided by change in kilometers? Can we calculate change in cost divided by change in kilometers? कर सकते हैं हम. हाँ, what is the change in cost? 451, 750 minus 460, 8750 से जब cost बढ़ा तो kilometers have increased. You can pause the video, take down this data. I'm giving you the concept of fixed overhead constant and total, variable overhead constant per unit, and semi-variable, and this concept is hitting cost sheet, overhead, and so many other chapters. Change in cost is this, change in kilometers is this. So whatever is the change in the cost, when kilometers are changing, the cost is changing, that is variable cost only. 8750 divided by 3500. 2.5 per kilometer is the variable cost. आपको समझ में आया? Now 160, 200 kilometers into 2.5 is the variable cost. So what is the fixed cost? 60,000, क्योंकि total तो मालूम है. Now 156, 700. Pause the video, take the figures, work out in notebook this concept with me. 156,700 kilometers multiplied by 2.5, 391,750, ये तो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट है, प्लस 60,000. See, you are getting 450. Fixed cost is constant in total. So when kilometers are changing, the change in the cost is only because of the variable element. So many fuels must be like एकदम ऐसे ही revision, है ना? तो ये आपका variable cost हो जाएगा. Okay, right. अच्छा, now what is the benefit of doing all this? ये कहाँ काम आता है? Suppose you are saying, ma'am, next time if my vehicle is going only for 150 kilometers, can I calculate the semi-variable maintenance cost? Maintenance cost is semi-variable. 150 into 2.5, 3,75,000 तो यही है, plus 60,000 fixed है, तो कितना हुआ? 4,35,000. If this kilometers goes down to 150, my total cost here will be 4,35,000. So I am actually into service costing, but what I am teaching is like cost sheet, basics. There are high-low method and so many methods to derive in semi-variable overhead. You should know how to segregate the variable cost and the fixed cost. Clear to all of you, right? So these are nice problems. If it is for IT industries and all, ये जो नए ऐड हुए हैं ना, problems are good in your study material, and as it is, the problems are asked. What is the cost of employees in the IT industry? Is the major cost is employees and some depreciation for laptops and all. You can get the total cost. टोल गेट्स में आजकल बहुत चल रहा है. या दिस वन इज आस्क्ड इन December 21 फॉर 5 marks as theory question. Build, operate, transfer approach. We are making the toll, we try to implement it. अब तो टोल में सबको मालूम है ना, कार्ड्स आ गए, फास्टैग, तो वहां रुको, कैश दो, चेंज लो, चालान कटेगा, वो कुछ है ही नहीं. Just swipe and go. And that card is having already balance for prepaid toll paid. It's a very nice concept. And once we operate it, then we hand over or transfer this to government. जहाँ पे आप toll ले रहे हो तो government का area है ना. Yeah. So this is the knowledge behind this para. And otherwise, how do you charge the toll rate? Total distance into toll rate per kilometer. If I'm using the express highway Mumbai-Pune, it is 180 kilometers. Per kilometer, they are charging 10 rupees 1,800 for a four-wheeler. And if it is a bus, 180 kilometers into 25, if it is a heavy loaded bus. So these are the way charges are fixed for tolls and all. We have worked out these problems. Education system, school, colleges, banks. I am expecting a question like this for bank. Banks may the major cost is admin, like depreciation and all of your furniture, laptops and desktops and all, and salary cost. And divide by number of clienteles you have in different areas. Right. Let us check up the booster notes, what we have written for this. Last class we have taken for joint product and byproduct. ये तो हमने कर लिया ना, joint product booster notes. Yeah. For service costing, I am checking the booster. What do you mean by total taking? Total taking is the total fare you are going to charge. Sometimes, once you complete the cost sheet for a transporter or hotel and all, fixed cost and variable cost, you get total cost. And then they say profit is percentage of cost. तो वहां पे फिर आपको अपना दिमाग लगाना है. Cost plus profit is taking. Taking is like selling price. So if the percentage is 20% on cost, 120, 120. If the percentage is 20% on sales, take sales as 100. 20% is the profit. Cost will be 80. So once you get the total cost, divide by passenger kilometer or you divide by ton kilometer. Composite unit of measure is per passenger, per kilometer, per ton. See, दो डिनोमिनेटर है. किलोमीटर भी कितना जाएगा व्हीकल और कितने पैसेंजर्स हैं. So that's called as composite unit of measure. Sometimes you have to work equivalent units and all, because when students are operating the bus, those who stay within 5 kilometers, they are paying lower transport fees. Those who are coming from 20 kilometers, they are paying more. So it depends. So that time you have to put the weights and do. इसके लिए एक student और एक hotel का problem है. If you can do it, if I can show it now, we'll surely love to show all that also. Electricity, divide the total cost by kilowatt hours. Total cost of the policy by number of policies. Total cost by total insured value. What is the cost per vehicle? Those who are using total cost divide by number of vehicles भी कर सकते हो या फिर total cost divide by total kilometers these vehicles are traveling. Yeah, this one should be like by heart by all of you. Absolute and commercial ton kilometer. देखो screen पे. What is absolute? Ton kilometer plus ton kilometer, one distance to another distance. Commercial ton kilometers will take average of tons. A plus B plus C divided by 3 multiplied by, multiplied by total kilometers. Nothing given in exam, use absolute ton kilometers. Sometimes the return load is 0. They say we are going to unload the coal and return we will come vacant. Then also kilometers multiply by 2 you should do, because I told you खाली गाड़ी भी आएगी तो petrol तो लगेगा. Clear or not? Yeah. Let me show you that I told you know why you have to do equivalent units. वो एक problem मैं आपको बताती हूँ. This is a routine chapter. ये देखो semi-variable and all. And if you know the cost per ton kilometer, profit if they give you the margin on sales. So it's 10% on sales. So take sales as 100, profit margin as 10 and cost be 90. If it is 10% on cost, take accordingly. जो भी ठीक है आपको जो लगे. This library is problem. We solve so many problems actually in our routine class. Yeah. Why do I do? This is a question for school. Driver's salary, cleaner's salary, license, insurance, depreciation. Diesel cost is for kilometers. So 10 kilometers for 18.50 is the diesel rate per liter. And in 1 liter diesel, your vehicle runs 10 kilometers. And total in a year, vehicle have run these many kilometers. While calculating kilometers, if it is 10 months only, the school buses use, take like that. 10 kilometers, 18.50 paisa. These many kilometers, how much? Cross multiply, you get answer. And how do you get kilometers? One bus is going 16 kilometers, 4 trips. सीनियर को ले जाके छोड़ते हैं, फिर जूनियर को ले जाके छोड़ते हैं, फिर जूनियर हाफ डे वापस ले जाके छोड़ते हैं, फिर सीनियर. So 4 round trips, so multiply by 2, and it is operating 24 days and 10 months. इसी कैलकुलेशन में गड़बड़ होती है. It's a challenge. If the way I'm making these videos, is it helpful to you or not? It's a challenge for me. Teachers को पढ़ाना बहुत easy है. Routine class, I explain one concept, one problem, I'll work. Service costing, we have done 7 classes in routine. तो वो बड़े मजेदार क्लास है. आप लोग कैलकुलेटर में चैट बॉक्स में मेरे से पहले आंसर देते हैं. But when we record these kind of videos, so much we need to remember. That's why I'm saying I would be glad if you can comment below the video the words of it. If you have got so much of knowledge, अगर आपको लगा है कि हाँ हमको semi variable overhead, absolute ton kilometers, all this is clear, I would be very glad to help you more. That will motivate me also. है ना? Thank you. चलो. Come back to this. Why I'm saying one bus 16 kilometers. When I in my routine class, no, दीप्ति मैम सब नहीं पढ़ाते, आपको भी पढ़ना पड़ता है. आपको, it's not how best I teach and how neat your notebooks are. Scratching is not a problem. It's a superb way of learning. Are you all getting? So scratch करो लेकिन करो. So I just pause in the class and then they revolve around the answer for 5-10 minutes, and then they say, oh ma'am, I didn't do 2-way. Then why you didn't do 4 trips? No. I'll go from school, I'll pick up senior and come. I'll pick junior and come. Afternoon 1 o'clock, I will drop junior and come back khali. Then 4 o'clock, I'll drop senior and come back khali and park the bus in school. So these are 4 round trips. That's why multiplied by 2 and 24 days in a month and 10 months. Why 10 months? 12 months तो नहीं आएगा. ठीक है? Right. Now, why am I doing equivalent students and cost per student and all? ठीक है? Right. चलो इसको करते हैं साथ में. 4 kilo total 120 students are doing there. 60 juniors and 60 seniors. This problem is very common. You must be having it or material maybe. So 120 students, 15% of the students means 18 students are there who are coming from 4 kilometers. 120 ke 30% students are coming from 8 kilometers and remaining are coming from 16. Now they are not paying equal fees. Suppose if those who are coming from 16 kilometers, they are paying full fees, 100%, 1 rupee. 8 kilometers, 50%. 4 kilometers, uska bhi half, 25. So if I say, you know why I am doing all this, just look here. Suppose if total cost is coming here, I have total cost है आपके पास 2,52,000. Just ऐसे आपको कुछ logic बता रहे. 2,52,000 total cost. If I divide by 120 students, the answer will go wrong. Costing is so much of analysis. The more you read the question, the more you practice, your analytical skill will develop. ठीक है? 2,52,000. अगर cost of 120 students, you are charging equal cost to every student. They can give you total cost, add the profit, then take it at the freight charge, selling price, whatever you call it. But abhi profit ki baat hi nahi. I can't charge equal cost to all the students. But yeah, 18 students are paying 1/4 fees. Can I say they are equal to 4.5 full students? 36 students are paying half fees. Can I say they are equal to 18 students paying full fees? 4.5 students paying full fees? 66 students paying full fees? Total 88.5 students are paying full fees. If I divide 252, I think I need not do kiya hai. 252 डिवाइड बाय 12 इसलिए किया कि मंथली करना था. This monthly cost divided by 88.5, 237.36 is the full fees. Divide by half, 8 kilometers. उसको भी divide by half मतलब original का 1/4. Yeah. In my regular class I explain, I make them write, I write. आपको भी होना तो वीडियो पॉज करो और ये देखो, और फिर भी कुछ डाउट है तो कमेंट बिलो द वीडियो इन यूट्यूब. इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं पढ़ा तो क्या पढ़ा सर्विस कॉस्टिंग में? रूटीन. हाँ, दिस इज नॉट अ बीकॉम काइंड ऑफ एग्जाम where you solve 50 problems of service costing and 40 problems of material and labor. It's not how many number of problems you are doing. It's the quality of problems. This is not a BCom style exam where the pattern is same, the data is same. Every problem of operating cost sheet is different. Passenger service, hospital, hotel, school transport bus. So you need to do quality good problems, and that's what I have maintained in my 20 years of teaching journey. One thing I'm honestly sharing with you, dear students, I have never compromised in the quality and the level of the problem which teacher should teach in the class. Then we are giving you professional coaching for a professional exam. Right or not? Otherwise you will not realize, हाँ मैम ने तो 26 प्रॉब्लम कराई सर्विस कॉस्टिंग में, पता चला सब वही पैसेंजर ट्रांसपोर्ट ये वो, इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट तो किया ही नहीं और वही आया एग्जाम. लाइब्रेरी तो किया नहीं, तो लाइब्रेरी में सब्सिडी भी मिलती है. हाउ डू यू ट्रीट दैट? So very important is sometimes we need to give you these benchmarks so that you realize when you are judging a teacher. Mazak masti we also do in our regular class. I don't want serious students in my class, but definitely I want sincere and committed students. When I say I'm sitting in front of you, you work out kilometers, पूरी class answer देती है chat box में. And if they get, yeah ma'am, I also got 32,000 kilometers, genuine wala confidence is built up. Yeah, Dipti ma'am thought I will be able to do it in the final exam. And if they do mistake, oh, that scratching, that pinching in the regular class is so very important, so that you don't do any mistake in the final exam. Am I right or not? सिर्फ हिला हिला के हाँ मत बोलो, अगर कुछ गलत लग रहा है तो बोलो. Yeah, this is a case of a hotel, rent and all, and whatever is the total cost, profit is 20% on the cost. So total takings तक तो आ गया. Now we have 100 single rooms which are 100% occupied for 360 days, and the fare is this much. Now we have 50 double rooms. They are 80% occupied. So as good as 40 rooms into 360 days. So day rooms we will get 14,400 day rooms, and single room if they are paying 1, they are paying 2.5 times more. So though day rooms for double is 14,400, but equivalent day room is 36,000. Triple rooms are 30, but they are only 60% occupied. बाकी तो खाली रहते हैं. तो 60% मतलब 18 rooms, 360 days, and we charge 5 times the fare of the single room. So this is your equivalent rooms. If you divide this by your cost, you will get answer. Imagine if you divide your cost or your fare with 100 plus 150, 30. 180 is the number of rooms. तो फिर थोड़ी सही आएगा. 180 number of rooms will not give you the correct answer. Clear? Right. I think enough ना. मुझे बड़ा मजा आता है ये चैप्टर पढ़ाने में. तो I think I have gone in my regular class mode in teaching, but this is a revision video. Hope I've tried to justify my best. Thank you so much for watching till end. कितने लोग बस यहीं कट कर देते हैं. मैम वही बोलेंगे नोटिफिकेशन करो, 5 लोगों को शेयर करो, तो फिर करो ना. कुछ कमेंट भी करो बोलो तो हमें पता चले. Are you really understanding and are you writing the booster notes I have given? यहाँ तो कम booster notes थे, फिर भी थे. I've shown you my screen of the booster notes, but there are good number of booster notes and very, very important in your EOQ, EBQ. One day before exam, if you revise all the booster notes, Instead of going कि some chapters I revised everything और कुछ chapters ना revise करने के ही रह गए, चाहे छोटे हो, standard budget तक तो मैं पहुंची नहीं. It's not right. All the chapters format and booster notes you should revise first, and then you should go in the chapter wise revision. Okay, right. Thank you so much. Bye bye, all of you. All the best to all of you, dear students. You are amazing well. You have got super patience and you will do super well in exam. Trust the path, trust your goal, trust this syllabus, trust the teachers, and trust yourself. Bye.